Puerto Rico Mental Health Pre-Series. In 2011, I was a young athlete and scholar prospect. My discipline was top-notch. I wouldn't drink liquor, and not even soda. I was always preparing for the better future. I was even a regular churchgoer, and by this time I had already reached various achievements. I decided to invite a friend to eat ice cream. So we hopped in my college car, and in 30 minutes we were already eating our ice cream. We didn't drink, we did no drugs. To have two young men like that in this toxic world was quite the accomplishment. I wasn't worried at all, but I knew my friend had some sort of mental and social problems, where he was known in my community to not like everybody around him. So as we were eating ice cream, my friend said something about suspicious cops eating ice cream in a table near us. So I look at the cops, but I can be super aloof sometimes. If my friend didn't point out the cops, I wouldn't have ever bothered to acknowledge them in the first place. So my friend frowns and tells me, "Finish the ice cream fast. We have to go." And I was like, "Why, man? What's up?" To which he responds, "I have a bad feeling about them, man. Let's just go. I don't like them at all." And I was like, "Just take it easy, man." So I remember being annoyed by my friend being always so dramatic and acting always so paranoid and persecuted. So I accept and we just go. He was really pushing me to leave. And when I was young, I was very, very flexible. So I say yeah and we just leave. And sure enough, the cops followed our leave. They left with us and we went to our respective vehicles. And sure enough, as I drive, we can see the cops also leaving and behind us. After we leave the big commercial center and enter the highway, the cops immediately call for us to park to the side. I surely move to the side and I park. I knew I was okay with everything in order. But now I am annoyed at my friend for wanting to leave so quick. And also, now I had to wait and see what on earth did these cops want. As I tell this part of the story, remember, even for being smart, even at a tender age, I really didn't know my rights. But I am relaxed and I do as they say. And I immediately see these cops surrounding my car with AK-47s. And even two more cop cars stopped, adding to the overwhelming amount of people with these AK-47s. But, like I said, I was relaxed. I gave them my ID and the vehicle's registration. Then they told us to get down from the car. Note, I know my rights now and I don't have to get down from the vehicle if they ask. They do that to search without warrant. So anyways, we get down from the car and do everything as they say. The lead cop was very pushy. For instance, he wanted us to stand in a certain way, but we wouldn't understand his vague and yet angry explanation. I felt mocked more than anything. We are with hands on the vehicle while surrounded by AKs. And I can see when the lead cop searches my car, I immediately got pissed because I see him making a terrible mess. And as he's making that mess while checking my car, they had asked if we had weapons. So I look at the one who asked and say, "Of course not." The other guy is still making a terrible mess, scrambling maybe university papers and car trash and gadgets like pens, tissues, forks, Jehovah Witness brochures, love cards, and car stuff, and all that stuff, which was organized. And the one outside distracted us by asking me, "Are you sure?" And I keep saying, "I don't have a weapon." But then the officer that was looking interrupts us by saying, "No weapons? Then what's this?" And he proceeds to remove a handgun from my car's drawer. So at this point, I get angry and I look around at this officer and I look at his holster, and he is missing a handgun where he initially had one. I didn't even say the obvious, that that firearm was his, and he planted it there as we were being held, detained, and distracted outside. So that one was extremely obvious. Then I just break from their instructions. Even as a young man or even a teenager, I could tell that these officers were abusing of their power and were simply making a joke of us or of me. Like I said, I break the position they wanted me to be in, and I look at the officers that were facing me the nearest and even the one searching, and I tell them, "Okay, that's enough. I am done with this joke that you guys have." I was young and I knew I wasn't some sort of thug, so I guess I felt like defending myself from the clear action they tried to pull on me. And when I tell them this, one officer responds, "Do you see us laughing?" He wasn't laughing, but he did say that with a very stiff face, like some child making up excuses so they don't get punishment or they don't get punished. But he kind of looked like he wanted to laugh at that point in time. They quickly give me my stuff and they just leave. I guess they were expecting to find something bad in my car. But they did that to one of the most disciplined athletes of the east side of Puerto Rico at that point in time. This is the only reason I showed them I was annoyed. Everything they checked was totally clean. Just two actual good teenagers. So my friend and I get in my car and we leave as well. And we are serious and quiet. But as we are leaving, I feel emotionally exhausted from that. And I asked myself in my mind, those cops were totally doing more than they were permitted to, from my eyes. They were even joking with us and our valuable evening and our valuable time. I said, I feel checked, and innocently asked myself, but who checks them? Then I thought, oh no, do I need to hang around with a camera and all that sort of stuff and preoccupations? Because eventually this kind of kept happening along the way, and not just with officers. If I went to a store or a company, I always encountered somebody that was ready to abuse of me and the people around them. Being I the client, or being myself as an employee, I found people that were always ready to abuse of their power and are not properly checked themselves. My academic career eventually touched on law, and from there I just kept expanding. And when I won a national level competition from my college, I also won an internship to be an audit. Along my development, I learned about First Amendment audit and the powers of a particular person, as the term would go. So then, I knew that between all my endeavors, I would become a particular person, and the First and Second and Fifth, etc. Amendment audit. If you see some of my videos, I already have some First Amendment work, First Amendment audit work, where I have gone to a place, any place, and if I get attended with disrespect and abuse or with non-tolerant behavior or discrimination, I will give them a bad review. And I have even captured them in the moment where they may be cursing at me and even yelling at me when I question their service and their treatment, or when I ask for their managers or for their supervisors when it's for a complaint. Some of this First Amendment work I have done as simply a normal First Amendment audit or any amendment. I have done it by the undercover Taino boss alias and series, which is more like your local vigilante, where I go to a place and I practice my rights, whether I shop, work, or for any reason. But I don't tell anybody I enter any place with the eyes and mind of an audit. Like I said, whether it's the service and even important aspects of the quality. And I portray myself as the normal buyer or the normal client, which I am, where in a peaceful manner I express my rights. And how can we enhance everybody's experience? By being a source of checks and balances around the mental health issue of the island and nation of Puerto Rico. For instance, you will always find an employee that may yell at you or even threaten you with their body. And I bet you have experienced the event where the behavior of these type of employees are rarely corrected. Maybe a security guard that acted too rude to you and was not tolerant of your way of expressing your own rights. This also expands to security guards and workers who may discriminate against you and even suspect of you when there's no harm done or committed, and are impulsed into acting based on mere suspicion, to the point they can offend you and insult you as client, and even possibly act aggressively and physical, and are even known to cause physical harm. People like this, whom are rarely confronted, and abuse of their tactics for order, using fear to get what they want. A tactic that doesn't work on me. The best way to direct clients is with love and respect and incredible kindness. So this is kind of how I became an audit, or even the undercover Taino boss, the Taino vigilante, because much of my work is also done in name of the indigenous who own the land of Puerto Rico and are who should also help to verify it. So I go to whatever place I need to go, whether I am going to buy food or whatever, within my rights, and I am peaceful, kind, happy, respectful, cordial, and communal, expecting to receive what I give as a normal client, but secretly attentive and observing of the treatment I receive and my experience. So if I go to a place and I am falsely accused of something or attacked for some unknown reason, I will speak to those people and tell them that I was always in actual audit, and that everything I said and asked was within my rights, but nonetheless a test. But here I want to announce, I don't want to be an audit, even though this work would help and benefit all of you, as in this work can actually benefit millions of people. But I feel being an audit sometimes takes away from my soul. I don't want to be an audit because even though people can do me wrong, I don't want to do no wrong to anybody, even no matter how bad was the thing that they did to me, or even the harm. But, nevertheless, since this work can indeed help millions, ask for my new Patreon page where I will provide you the most juiciest scandals that I've witnessed from businesses and Puerto Rico stores and government offices and more. I may leave some of this work in my YouTube, but I will leave most of this hard work for my Patreon page. So I really don't want to be an audit. I want to love people only and even help people who have done me wrong. But even so, this work is needed in Puerto Rico to help with the nation's mental health. So if I do any work, you may find it only as exclusive channel content in Patreon. So right now, I will ask you, if you're a company, a store, or have a business, or if you are any type of worker or employee, I hereby ask all of you to think first every time you encounter your clients and your guests. Your weekly checks depend on your client's satisfaction, such as if somebody who's not properly dressed enters your car dealership and you immediately treat him with disrespect because of such discriminative reasons and toss him to the side, ignore him, and even check him, question him, and or try to have him kicked out even. But then he shows you he was about to buy your most expensive vehicle, where you may win over $10,000 from such a transaction in commission. And the now annoyed, discriminated client tells you, "You treated me so bad, I will never acquire a car from your dealership. I will never sponsor you. I was about to buy your most expensive luxury vehicle in cash." So because clients are the source of your food, is the main reason that you should always respect any customer or guest regardless of who they are or appear to be. I guess I've always felt to protect the weak. I think that's what I was born to do. So I really ask people to relax and do not have bad attitude when they work. I ask the employee and workforce to be patient and way more tolerant. Be grateful even. Not everybody is perfect. Even if you have to repeat something, do not get angry. Some people cannot really hear well. At the end of the day, it is still your paycheck. Work with your chin up and with a lot of valor, but don't jump to quickly attack somebody if you feel you're being misunderstood as a professional. If you support my Indigenous Boricua related work, give this video a thumbs up and hit that like button. Share to your friends and subscribe. And also buy me a coffee in the link down below. Write what you think I should do, whether I should continue being an audit for our safety and our benefit. But as for now, I really don't want to be an audit. Go to my Buy Me a Coffee to support my channel financially. This ensures I can continue uploading videos, and that will help my channel a lot, and especially for your entertainment. And either way, also give us your general thoughts in the comments section. Remember, we want to help cops by getting together and making community cards for appreciation and compensation checks for policemen who have served the community with real integrity as heroes. This is ABAKETONEBORIKEJ, and I will see you on the next video.